Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Vika, and today we're going to be talking about how I got into Colombia for my master's program. And full disclosure guys, I just want to say this before I even get into the video, which is I am speaking purely from personal experience. I definitely do not have all the answers. This is just what I did in my application and how I structured my application, and that's basically what I'm going to be talking about. I'm talking about my experience solely on this video. To give a little context, I just moved to New York about a month ago, and I'm starting a master's here at Columbia University in the fall. I applied to UCSB, NYU, and Columbia. I applied to 3 schools, and I got into UCSB. I got into Columbia, but I got waitlisted at NYU basically, and ultimately rejected. I didn't get into NYU, but I did get into Columbia. And to give you guys a little context, about a year and a half ago, I stumbled upon this video by this girl named Iris. So she actually goes to Stanford University, and she was kind of talking about her tips and recommendations for getting into Ivy League schools. I believe she got into a lot of top colleges in the US, and she was talking about the number one thing that helped her get into these universities was having a passion project. So essentially a passion project is a initiative, a community, an organization, a startup, a business, anything that addresses a problem or that aims to solve a problem. So she was talking about the fact that admission officers do not want to see you talk about their problem. They want to see that you're actually doing something to solve the problem. And they want to know that they can trust you. Like, admission officers are reading so many essays about all these problems, but how are they supposed to know that I'm the real deal? How are they supposed to know that I'm genuinely dedicated and I genuinely care about solving this problem? So she was saying, instead of telling them and talking about the problem, why not try to do something or start something that actually tries to solve that problem? And that really hit me, because that really made sense. When she said that, I was like putting myself in an admission officer's shoes, and I'm assessing between 2 applications. One application is talking about the problems that they care about, and the second application is talking about the problem but also starts an initiative to address the problem and solve the problem. Which one is more compelling to me? Of course, application B. Application B is the person that actually went out of their way to go out in the world and do something about it. That was around the same time we were starting to launch our startup, and I always kept this passion project kind of idea at the back of my head while I was building this startup, because I had started the startup way before I even saw this passion project video. So I was like, apparently it's really useful to have a passion project, or it's useful to have a community or an organization, when you're applying to colleges, according to Iris, So I kept this idea in the back of my head, and a year goes by, I'm building the startup, I'm building TCP, and when I got my application for the Master's in Technology Management course at Columbia University, I think one of the biggest questions, I think the essay question actually, was like, what is one of the most challenging problems you've gone through and how did you solve it? And I literally just talked about, my startup. I talked about our startup and the problems that it addressed, the problem I faced as an international student, the problems, the struggles, the pain points that I faced, but the aha moment, the realization I had. And then after that, I went into the journey, the journey of building this solution or building this community, building this startup, and how we built it. And then finally, I got into the benefits, which is all of the achievements, how many mentors we recruited, how many students we've helped, how many initiatives or communities or events that we've thrown, and all the things that we have done and all the things we want to do, and our future goals, our 2-year goals, our 5-year goals. So I wrote all of this down. My whole essay was literally following the storytelling structure of how I built my passion project or how I built my startup. At the time, I was also doing a course called Technology Sales by Course Careers. I will also link that in the description. Amazing course, by the way. It's a great course if you want to kind of break into tech into tech sales specifically as a sales development representative or a business development representative. And I was doing that course at the same time while I was kind of, writing the essay and working on my application, my college application. And overall, looking back at the whole essay, I would say my whole essay was talking about this passion project and the journey, that whole journey of going from the problem to building a solution to the problem. There's another book called Building a Story Brand, which is an amazing book. I'm blanking on the author right now, but I will definitely, link that book in the description below. It's an amazing book if you guys want to look into how to effectively tell stories and the storytelling structure. These are especially useful in college essays because, we want to bring these admission officers on a journey with us. We want to show them our story. I followed Iris's advice as well, which is solve a problem that you care about, whether that is building a community, building a startup, building an online social media brand, social media page, building a business. It can literally be anything, or a community, a nonprofit. It can be anything. But as long as we're trying to do something to solve the problem and not just talking about it. I think that was the biggest takeaway that I had, and that's exactly what helped me get into Columbia and UCSB, because I used my passion project as the main superstar, the main focus of my essay and my application. Please let me know in the comments if you guys have any application tips or recommendations, what you guys did to help you stand out in your application. I'd love to know. And please let me know if this video was useful, guys. I'd love to hear from you. But till then, guys, subscribe, like the video if it was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video.